My name is Alejandro Figueroa, and I will be talking to you about the case of John Karr. Now, who is John Karr? John Karr is the man who falsely confessed to the murder of John Bet Patricia Ramsey. Now, a little bit about John Bennett. Now, John Bennett was a 6-year-old American child beauty pageant queen who was killed in her family home in Boulder, Colorado, on the night of December 25th, December 26th of 1996. Now, there was a ransom note left in the home when the parents got there, and 8 hours after the missing report they filed with the police, she was found in the basement. After the autopsy, it showed that her cause of death was asphyxiation by strangulation associated with craniocerebral trauma. Thus, given the autopsy report, her death was ruled a homicide. It became a murder case, and it was, nationwide. Media covered it, news covered it, ABC News, everything. It was in all sorts of social media. Now, initially, the family was suspected for her murder, particularly her mother. They believed she was the one who went ahead and composed the ransom note to cover up her murder. They were charged for permitting a child in a dangerous situation and hindering the prosecution. Later on, those charges were dropped. Then they were charged again, and then they were dropped, and they were charged again. It was a back and forth thing over the years. The family faced a lot of scrutiny. After some DNA testing, they ruled out her family, but for about 4 to 5 years, they would not accept the fact that it was not her family and allowed the theory for an intruder. Now, finally, after a theory for an intruder was finally accepted, through a little bit more investigation, they found out there was a broken window in the basement where the body was found by a bookshelf. They started thinking, okay, maybe somebody came in, did this, and left the same way they came in. Now, over the years, through DNA testing, they searched the database. The blood they found with the body, other than John Bennett's, was not matched in the database. Over the years, they kept trying it. As DNA testing got better and better, they kept trying it, and nothing. August of 2006, that's where John Mark Karr comes in. Now, John Mark Karr is a 41-year-old, was a 41-year-old at the time, elementary teacher who was arrested in Bangkok for falsely confessing to the murder of John Bennett Patricia Ramsey. Now, he claimed that he drugged her and he sexually assaulted her and he accidentally killed her. Now, authorities couldn't link him to the crime scene. They couldn't link him to the family. There was really little known. DNA testing showed that his blood didn't match the blood found with the victim's body. The only thing he stated were things that were just common knowledge at the time. There were things that were already told to the media. Now, the first thing that they ruled out was that he drugged her. In the autopsy, they showed no drugs found in the bloodstream or on the body or anything such as. Now, he led a life in Thailand very nomadic before his arrest. He just went school to school teaching, and that's how he made his money. He moved over there after he was charged in California for having child pornography. Now, a couple questions did arise, like why did he falsely confess? Why would he confess to something he didn't do? A lot of speculation is he wanted to be in the limelight. He just wanted the credit for it. He wanted to become popular. Now, this is usually the case for most false confessions. They just don't have a voice for themselves. They want to be heard. They just want the attention, and that's a lot seen in those particular cases. The only question I give you guys is, what do you guys think about that? Why do you think he went ahead and falsely confessed to something he didn't do? In my opinion, I think this was nationwide coverage. He he was already child-to-child pornography, so we knew he was a pedophile. He already had interest in children. I think that he had this fantasy where he was with John Bennett. That was his partner in his fantasy. That's the person he had sort of a amorous relationship with in his fantasy life. Now, this happened so long and it kept going so far that he didn't mesh reality. He couldn't separate reality from fantasy anymore. And he went ahead and confessed to the case to feel closer to that fantasy, even though that wasn't his reality. If you guys have any further questions, just leave them in the comments. And go ahead and comment what you guys think. What was his reason for confessing? I would like to hear what you guys have. Thank you for listening. Have a nice night.